My job as your representative, as a congresswoman, is not to make sure that you are healthy and safe in every aspect of your life. If so, I'd probably send you a Peloton and a gym membership, and then make sure you're buckling your seatbelt every time you get in a car. Maybe I'll prevent you from even being in the car. But my job is to keep you free.
I don't think that is like your actual job necessarily. And if it were, you're doing a terrible job. I get the narrative of the Republican Party is that they care about freedom, but you guys strip away rights all the time. You're a woman. Your rights are being stripped away more than anyone else. How do you not understand that? Or why are you pretending not to? But forget about the freedom thing. It's not your job to care about their health. I feel like that's part of the job of a representative. Insofar as legislation bears on people's health, it feels like that's kind of your lane. And it is convenient that Lauren Boebert would be pretending that she has nothing to do with your health after she voted with the rest of the Republicans for Trump's spending bill that stripped Medicaid away from literally millions of people, including, by the way, 200,000 Coloradans are gonna lose Medicaid. And so for her to be so casual and blasé about the life or likely death of her constituents is strange, especially coming off the fact that she apparently loves her new constituents so much that she had to flee her prior district to go there because she cared about those people, right? It wasn't like a cynical power grab or anything. She really cares about these people, just not their health and their safety. None of that stuff. She doesn't care about that. So she makes quips about Pelotons or whatever. I think that sucks, but I thought this might hit a little bit more close to home for you. What do you make of it?
Yeah, first of all, I'm in Colorado, and bizarrely, I care more about Coloradans' health than the representative. Boebert represents to me like what's a condiment I don't really like? Like the
horseradish.
First of all, as a Jew, I really do like horseradish, but I will say it's like it's the worst batch of of candidates that we have. These people include the Herschel Walkers, the jokes, the low bars, and for some reason, Boebert got in. Now she only won by a very few amount of votes, and then you're right, she moved districts to try and get more. But I ask my fellow Coloradans, why? When we have heard her say that she's not interested in your health, do we continue to vote for someone to represent us? That is by far the basis of a good representative. And John, I gotta be honest, I think she thinks that's right. Like, I'm not sure she knows what due process is. I'm not sure she knows what her job is. I think she's just dumb, a vapor, and a low earthworm of a human being, and I am embarrassed for Colorado to have continued. I'm looking for anyone. It could be a chair, a stool, a window pane that could take her place, and they would care more about the health. So again, in this day and age in which more people are dying of obesity and of opiates and of all these things, and in Colorado, what we care about is not your health is the worst running slogan I've ever heard. I'm waiting for her to get ousted and to go vape in another Broadway show and then lie about it.
Yeah, maybe the Peloton could do a better job of representing. It's a little elitist. I don't know. People like populist furniture to serve as their representatives.
Totally.
Just like one dumbbell.
Just like,
that's basically what we have with Lauren Boebert is one dumbbell.
A sweatband, but dumbbell works too. Yeah, that's all she is.
I really did have hope that she would not get reelected, and she did. And as you said, it was fairly close. I try not to be too hard on people, because I know that a lot of people, we can't expect that everybody's gonna spend hours watching political shows and podcasts and following the news, everything. That's why name recognition is so big. You're a Republican, you're like, I don't know, I've heard of Boebert. Maybe she was already my representative. I guess we'll elect her again. Because if I expect too much, then I'll be left in a position where I'm like, do you guys not have any self-respect? She obviously doesn't care about the district. She obviously didn't care about the last one. She literally fled her home because she thought she'd have a better chance. It was just about power. And the thing is, maybe you'd be willing to overlook that for somebody who was really clever or a good messenger or great with legislation, has a history as an organizer, an activist. She doesn't have any of that.
She's nothing.
She's not particularly good at any of this stuff.
No.
And they knew her name. She's on the news or whatever. And so they put her back in. It's like, I'm not saying it just makes me depressed about the prospect for democracy.
I agree.
That you can deliver so little, then screw over your constituents and still be sent back. That's why, kind of depressing.
Yeah, that's why she's the horseradish. Again, I'm speaking up for horseradish here on gefilte fish. But again, the lowest of the low bars, and we're still voting her in. What are we doing here, guys? And what does that say about our future?
No offense to the cuisine or anything, but I don't want horseradish. And you adding fish into the mix doesn't make me like the horseradish more. Maybe like Nutella, you could combine it with them. There might have something, but anyway. And as we close, I just want to let you know that she is facing a challenger. Trisha Calavarese of Colorado responded to that video going around of Lauren Boebert to say, hard disagree. Think the largest federal rollback of health insurance in history is sick, coming from someone who enjoys the best possible healthcare in the country, courtesy of the US taxpayers. You can't make up for collapsing rural hospitals with your Pelotons. Freedom also means where you live doesn't determine if you live. That's why we need care on the Eastern Plains and why I'm running. And obviously it's gonna be very hard. It's a red district. That's why Lauren Boebert fled to it. But that's what you should expect from your representative, not whatever. I don't care if you live or die.
It's not my job, right? It's not my job. Yeah, right. Yeah,
exactly. But we're not a people that really has any expectations for representatives. I'm not even saying like expectations for legislation, but even just in the messaging or whatever. Like she immediately went to Peloton.
I know.
Like don't you get, you guys are supposed to be pretending to be like populist or whatever. Like I can't afford a Peloton. You think like every random person in Colorado is gonna be like, yeah, that's funny. I spend $2,000 on my exercise equipment.
Totally.
No, like that is just a representation of how, this girl, she used to just have a gun on her hip and food on a tray that'll give you diarrhea. But now she's a Peloton girl. She's moved up in the world, okay?
She's elevated herself. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah, she's not authentic anymore. If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.